base it on A New Hope. Just base it there. Base it in the original trilogy. You have the material. You don't necessarily have the actors, but you don't have to have them. You can have younger voice actors try to imitate them. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that Disney's going to want them to pick Force Awakens or Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. Okay? I don't know if I want that. I would want them to go and do A New Hope. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I'm saying Star Wars ain't happening, because there's too much conflict there. Or heaven forbid, like if Kingdom Hearts 3 had come out around the right time, that movie would, or that Star Wars world would not have been one of those main titles. It would have been Solo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would have made the Star Wars fan base real happy. That it was based on Solo, the one that they really don't like. That's why I'm saying no Star Wars. Here's an idea. Let's go on a journey we've been before. Okay? We've gone to Arendelle in 3. 4 is going to be a couple of years off. Wouldn't it be nice to do Frozen 2?
Yeah.
You could do that. How about go back to classic animation and see if you can find something like, I don't know, Princess and the Frog. I think that's a world you could do. Is Kingdom Hearts.
You still want Atlantis?
I still want Atlantis, even though I'm not going to get Leonard Nimoy, and that's really sad. But I still think that Atlantis works with the Kingdom Hearts aesthetic.
Thunder.
Whether people like or agree with me or not, I still think it works.
Yeah. Fire.
But there you go. So let's just say that they could give like 1 or 2 Disney worlds. I could see them doing that. But other worlds that Square Enix provides, that it gets hard. Because I don't know necessarily if we need to see like Dragon Quest in there. I don't know if we need to see worlds like Chrono Trigger in there either. It's a weird aspect. Anyway, hopefully that answers some people's questions. Like, yes, I agree. It's not a good idea to completely rule out Disney World. I think there might be some, but I don't think they're going to encapsulate everything about Kingdom Hearts 4. At least the way that they're hinting at it right now.
Uh-huh.
That could change. We get 2 or 3 years down the road, we start seeing trailers and it's a Disney World. Okay. I'm completely on board with them doing what they want to do.
Yep.
Please no Force Awakens, please. No Last Jedi. You're gonna do Star Wars, do original trilogy, stick to that. And you don't even need to do that. You already have lightsabers in this game. Just saying.
Wow, that is a great attack.
Yes.
I wish I had more.
We haven't even gotten the bigger area nukes yet either.
Well,
So I know that Flare exists in this game. Actually, no, it's Mega Flare.
I know. I was glad I had that treasure card so I can get the Mushu card.
Because Mega Flare, I think, is just an area-wide nuke. It just nukes everything, and it keeps nuking until everything's dead.
I know.
So that'll be awesome to be able to have.
Especially you can wrap up all those points.
Points! I don't know why we're doing that, but okay.
Well, we could be thinking of ice cream.
Wow.
No.
Ice cream makes me think about sad things. And the fact that I need the ice cream to fix that. Just to get it out of the way, the week that we're actually recording this, I'm not so good right now. My mom passed away a couple of days ago, and so we're working on the funeral arrangements, which means I haven't been the most the best person to be able to get videos out and things like that. It's just simply because I'm dealing with this. So I don't want to talk too much about it. Maybe I'll do a video later on, but
Win.
I'm just pointing it out. Like that's why I'm saying ice cream's not a good idea right now, because I'm gonna want to eat ice cream while probably remembering better days.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Win.
Oh, and I'm also just like fun news right now, because this week I have not done any due diligence on any of it, simply because I've had other things to worry about.
Win.
But there's been a lot of really good stuff. I find it interesting that today was the reveal of the Castlevania collection, which still a lot of friends are asking, like, are you excited for that? No, because it's games I already have. If they announce a bunch of left hooks in there, fine, but they're not going to, so I'm okay with that.
Let's see. So I need a green card. Do I have a double of something before? Nope.
I don't know.
Nope. So I'll just pick one. This one. A 7 or greater.
Well, there's a 7.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and boom! We can open the door to the future. Oh, hi. What are you waiting for? Call to him.
No, I won't let you hurt him.
Then I shall make you scream. The fool will come running the moment he hears your cries. Enough! I'm sorry, that was not Anduin enough for you. It should be more along the lines of, enough!
Mm-hmm.
The beast isn't the only one you have to deal with. Be gone, boy. You have no business here. Unless, of course, you wish to join in the screaming. This is perfect. When that brute hears your screams, shrieks of terror, he'll come right to me. Don't trouble yourself.
You're here. No, you mustn't. I told you to leave this place. Leave me alone. I never want to see your face again.
Belle.
She's a douche.
What an awful thing to say. All right. If that's how you feel, I understand. My hideousness is punishment for being selfish and unable to love. I was made into a monster, loved by no one, and I became more selfish. That is, until I met you, Belle. You're the only person who's accepted me. Little by little, you warmed my cold, selfish heart. The memories of our days together are my most precious, and I won't cast them aside. So I'm sorry, but I can't leave you here, even if you hate me for it. Consider it my final, selfish act.
Oh, beast.
Well, well. I never dreamt such an ugliness could hide so beautiful a heart. This calls for a change of plan. Beast, I shall claim your heart instead of Belle's. I don't think that's how the Seven Princesses things works.
No, please.
Hadouken! Oops. Do we have to edit it now? Because we just featured a death. Would this be a traumatic thing? Do we need to put an age restriction on this thing now? Well, so much for the change of plan. Belle's heart it is, after all. It seems her cold words spoke little of her true feelings. She loves you, beast. I can feel it shining in her heart. You fiend! Release Belle's heart at once! Where are you? She went that way! That's the way the shadows fled!
That's where my parking tickets are gonna go.
Shut up, Goofy! What are you doing here? No time to talk. We gotta go after them right away. Oh, actually, that's Donald.
Are you sure? I didn't.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
You'd help me? You bet. After what you just said, we gotta help you. I mean, we're the heroes of the game. Let's go get Belle's heart back. And stop. And quickly as Donald, give me it and stop talking over me. There you go. Right. So, key to truth. No, yeah, I didn't notice it till the last minute, but that bubble was pointed at Donald.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Oh.
Oops.
Oh, well.
Win!
Plot hiccup. That's the way that those go sometimes.
Let's go!
Now, somebody did actually want to know, since you've said numerous times that, you know, once you're finished with Zelda, you're going to go and do the Final Fantasy games.
Yep.
Is this because I'm forcing you, or are you actually wanting to do the Final Fantasy games?
Well, no, I wanted to do the Final Fantasy games, but I thought it became more complicated bouncing between Final Fantasy and Zelda at the same time, you know? So I decided to focus on one and then...
In the later games, you might not be wrong, just because they can get long, but the earlier games you probably could have done. Because like, the first game, I love it and all, but it's about as simplistic a plot as the original Zelda. Considering what comes later.
Oh yeah, well, it was just like, okay, did I do this game? I can't remember which one, you know? Plus I was in the middle of probably school and stuff, so I wouldn't have had time to... So I thought, oh, I'll focus on one and then I'll move to the other.
Okay, but I want this clarified for the record. I'm not forcing her to do jack. This is something that she wants to do. I really don't, like, we make the joke on Drak and Shadow that, like, I force you to play all these games that you've never played before. That's not the case. She genuinely gets interested in this stuff, all right?
Well, because I never grew up with this stuff, so
Yeah.
it's like, well, now's my chance, otherwise I'll probably never have another chance, you know?
This is it!
That's how we ended up playing games like Resident Evil. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine that. Bringing Resident Evil into your mom's house. That wouldn't work. Oh, she'd get mad, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas, by that point, I was living with my
If you
dad.
were to ask me to play, like, Resident Evil, I'd probably be like, I would have to play something kind of similar to that first before...
Yeah, that's nothing against your parents, but, like, the most that you guys were playing at that time was, you know, like Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon, Digimon, stuff like that. I was playing far darker stuff at that point because I was living with my dad. And my dad was like, okay, as long as it's not, you know, horrible. Which is funny because he actually did make me sell my copy of the Resident Evil remake. So...
Sell your copy.
Yeah, he did. He didn't like having it in the house.
Now that sucks.
No, because it was down... Like, you'll see it when we get to the remake, but it's damn scary. Like, it's meant to be scary. It's not hammy. In fact, my dad loves the hammy Resident Evil. Like, he loves the dialogue, and when I would quote it every now and then, he'd giggle. But the remakes, oh no, not when they went strictly horror. He would have a problem with that. But no, I don't force you or anything like that, despite the whole Resident Evil 7 thing. The Resident Evil 7 thing, if she had said no, then I'd be like, well, I'm not reviewing this. Because this is wrecking me right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. No, I was ready to give up on that game. Like, it was freaking me the hell out.
Which one? 7?
7, yeah. Like, if I'm, like, sitting there going, okay, this game is pushing every single one of my buttons. I love Resident Evil, but am I willing to put myself through a lot of pain to solo it? and get through the game.
I didn't mind watching it. I just don't know if I would play it yet. Like I said, I'd probably have to play some of the other shooting games before, you know.
Well, this is an example. Like, there's a bunch of game series that you haven't necessarily had access to because you weren't interested. Like, it wasn't what you were into at that point in time. Now you are.
Oh, yeah.
Deal. I mean, I wasn't playing the Resident Evil games when they came out. I played them much later. By the time I had gotten to Resident Evil, or gotten introduced to Resident Evil, I think Code Veronica had just barely come out.
Yeah.
So that's technically, and as you guys will find out when we get there, a lot of people consider Code Veronica to be the true Resident Evil 3. So just because it's an engine upgrade. So that's how far. You know, it started in the PlayStation days. I wasn't playing it during the PlayStation days. I played it when they first got a game on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the way it's gone. And with that being said, there's still a bunch of series I would like to be able to go try out that I never grew up with. I never even knew existed. Frankly, I didn't know Shin Megami Tensei was a thing. I didn't know Persona was a thing. I knew of Dragon Warrior, but I didn't know that Dragon Quest had continued on in Japan. You know, that's one of the interesting aspects of doing something like this, is that we can, as much older adults, we can go back and play the games that we missed.
Yeah.
That look really, really cool. Like, you got introduced via 7. 7 encouraged you to basically go and look back into what has happened in previous games in the Resident Evil series.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing happens for me. Like, I'll play a more recent entry in, say, Uncharted, and then I'll want to go and play Game 1 and learn everything I can about it. There you go. I'm not forcing anything. She wants to play it on her own. We have talked about maybe... Well, boom. Sorry. Nuke. We have talked about... Should I leak this now? I know I've been hinting at it. Should I just leak this now?
Sure, why not?
We were talking at one point about... Since we love doing the live streaming now, we thought about doing the Final Fantasy games via streaming.
We thought we, maybe play a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the bottom line is the way I do the Final Fantasy games on the channel is I cut out all the grinding.
Oh, yeah.
If we did them via stream, we'd have to do grinding.
Yeah.
Grinding would have to happen, and we'd have to fill that time. So it's definitely something that it is in the works, but it's something we can consider. Yeah, I've been promising that I would play all the sequel games. Maybe that's the way we do it. I don't know. Like, what's funny is there's technically a lot of sequel games I've still never played, including the sequel to my favorite in the series, Final Fantasy IV. Never played it. I have it, but I've never played it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have it. I've just never played it. You can get mad at me if you want.
Yay,
but...
I got Reflect Raid.
Yay! So hurls the Keyblade and makes it ricochet around enemy, or ricochet around to strike many enemies. That's cool.
Of course, I have to put Cloud in my card deck. And I don't think I have Cloud.
It's okay. We'll make crap work this one time.
And let's see.
So we got one more door,
Yep.
and then it's boss time.
Yep. Let me see, actually. If I can fix...
Now, do we need to figure out the deck before we take on the boss? Because the bosses are getting harder.
I could switch back to my other one and see.
Well, what I'm wondering is that should we just take a break and then you can work on the deck and then we can do the boss as the next recording, or...
I don't remember the boss fight very much.
I think it's Dragon Maleficent.
Yeah. I mean, I could try and use the other deck and see how well it goes. And if not, I can...
Okay. We could try it and then we'll come in and learn from our mistakes.
I don't remember the mechanics after watching it. I'm kind of glad that, it probably sucks with, having to play Riku with, having to have a set card deck.
Yeah, it sucks, but I kind of like the idea of it because by that point, the way that I looked at the Riku part of the game originally was like, I'm gonna have to do all this crap again as Riku? No thanks.
Yeah, but I think the Wonderland is the worst in Riku's. Because,
That might not be wrong.
well, yeah, because it has the worst card deck for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah. You make work what you can make work. I mean, a lot of people take that aspect as like a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
They'll take it as a challenge that, okay, we can make this work to our advantage, and we'll show how awesome and epic we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know.